Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Nxtgen Racing BTC series coming from Donington. We've had some technical difficulties for the minute, as you'd expect. It's brand new. We are live. It looks like I've got some GPU issues, so I will hopefully be here for the entirety of the evening, but we will see how that pans out. We missed the qualifying session, the practice session. It was only 20 minutes long. It's not really that important. Do not worry about that. The key is where the drivers are going to be able to place themselves. It's the Donington National Race Circuit, and at the moment the only driver who's placed it has been Jamie Dory. Rich Weatherhill has put himself in, so has Rich Weatherhill. There he is. We might have to undo the tower to get it to work properly. There is Rich Weatherhill, Jamie Dory, Lee Horn, Alex Ward is first all the way through to fifth as it stands at the moment. Jamie Dory, as I said, Lee Horn, they're all going to basically put themselves a bank laps in at the start. Lloyd Biddulph goes fastest on a 1:09 as it currently stands. So yeah, they're all going to be basically getting themselves ready, sorting themselves out. Anton's got himself into third as it currently stands. He's doing well in the timing screens at the moment. He needs to keep himself not get himself too caught up in the massive gaggle of cars that will be going on. The car ahead, how's Fraser Rostand's doing? Watched him out in R-Factor 2, so it'll be quite interesting to see what he can do from here. He is on the board, fourth fastest, 9/10 of a second, currently off pole position. He is in sector 3 at the moment, riding on board with him, going down to the Fogarty S's. He's going to have to be really careful as he goes down the gearbox, from fifth, fourth, third into second. Flings it to the right, flings it to the left, needs to keep it nice and tidy here, no heroics. As he goes through under the timing screens, what can he do? Can he improve from here? No, he doesn't. He stays 7th as it stands at the moment. Trebek has gone into 6th. Andre Albert has put himself into 4th. There he is. He's warming his tyres up through the Fogarty S as he's going. He's going to have to get himself ready for the race. There's 24 drivers in at the moment. Only 17 have placed themselves on the board, so that's going to be interesting. There's one of the T6 Motorsport boys waiting to come out, get himself a flying lap. Andre, while you're watching now, in the car store, lovely little Astra going down the hill, needs to keep himself nice and tidy here as we go to the old hairpin. Second gear corner, needs to keep it nice and tidy. Does he get a good run out of there? Mikam has put himself in to 21st drive. 21 drivers are currently with a score on the board. 10 minutes left of the qualifying session. We're watching Andre go round, riding on board with him now as he comes up to the crest of the hill. Nice little right-hander here. Don't hit the board. Already seen the driver go off here in practice. Now he's going to be building up that speed into 4th, into 5th, into 6th. Yellow in sector 1. It's not going to harm Andre's time. At the moment, nobody's changed at the top. Lloyd Biddulph is fastest on a 1:09.290. 4 tenths of a second behind that is Jean Petre. What can Andre do from here? Can he get himself into any form of a position? Does he improve? No, he doesn't. In the background there is, that was Andre. Yes, he does. He goes second at 109.529. He puts himself into second position. There's Lloyd Biddulph, currently fastest at the moment on the go down to the track side as he goes through again into the Fogarty S's. That's where we're catching a lot of the drivers out. He isn't fastest in this sector. Sector 3 fastest is Benny Norton on 27.234. Lloyd Biddulph on lap. What does he do from here? He's on his flying lap. Jamie Dory puts himself into 14th position. Is he going to get himself anything faster from that? No, I don't think so. I think it's just going to be reset all over again, really. Weatherhill's gone a bit far further forward. He's put himself into 22nd. Ward's gone into 21st. Keeping an eye on board on here on Lloyd. Is he going faster, really? Is he going to put himself into go any faster at the moment? He's 2 tenths down in sector 1. Makes no difference. Trebek is in the pits, so is Marco. Where is Jean Petre? Currently 3rd fastest in the T6 Motorsport. It's number 67. You can't miss him. There he is. He's going to come through into sector 1. Keep an eye out what he can do. Trebek has gone fastest. He put himself into 4th. So is Tamenga. He's into 8th. Romy's in 9th. So they're all improving on the board as we see a massive accident in the background. That was one of the BMWs, and Andre's given up on that. We'll keep an eye on. No, he's 2 tenths up in that sector. Trebek is going any faster. No, he's in the pits. A bit further down the field, Fraser Rostance, he's in 13th. He's 6 tenths off pole position. Near as us makes no difference. He's in 13th. He's 9 tenths off. He's got 2 corners to go in the 27. Little Ford Focus. Napa one there. Can he get himself any improvements through this sector? Can he deliver anything? Can he do anything from here? No. 13th. He stays 13th. No improvement for him. A bit of a shame. I have seen him race before, so I'd expect a bit more from him. How's Robert doing? He's down in 4th position. There he is in the number 16 Laser Racing, the Moffat car. You can't miss it. It's a great looking livery. Love that. He's in 6th. He's up 1 tenth in sector 1. Sector 2 is disallowed, so he's not going to go any faster. 7 minutes remaining of the practice session. Yeah, he's not going to go any faster than that at the moment. How's Benny Norton doing? There he is in the Firestick Racing Cupra at 109.29. So he's on his fastest lap, number 69. You can say that as you will. Currently 4th fastest. Sorry, he's not 4th fastest. Benny Norton is 8th fastest. He was fastest in sector 1 at the moment. Target times are 109.290. That is the fastest. 2 tenths up in that sector. So he's not going to set the timing boards. He doesn't improve either. That's not his fastest time in that sector. A little bit of a sim twitch. Lee Horn down in 20th is improving. We'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds on the lap at the moment. He has gone a bit faster, but not enough to do any real damage. Where's Dario? Dario's down in 7th position at the moment in another Honda, number 70. Can't miss it in the Powell car as he climbs up now through the Dunlop curve to the right-hand side. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. Yeah, he's 19.46 in sector 1. Sector 2 is 23.193. It's 5.5 second, less than 5 minutes, or just over 5 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. As it stands, through the right hander he goes, then the left hander needs to get no penalties here. He's really extended the penalty board there. Yeah, he's bopped himself straight back into the pits. Alex Axon is in the pit. What's Marco doing? He's on his flying lap. There he is, a 108.879. Can he do anything from here? Really, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. Yellow in sector 3. Any drivers approaching sector 3? Stu Neal is improving. He's gone green sector 1 and green sector 2, so he's improved in both sectors 1 and sectors 2. Can he improve in sector 3? This is going to be crucial for him. He needs to find a little bit of speed here if he wants to get himself into top 10, which is important for race 2. Don't worry, I'm with you for the entirety of the event, so I will take you through the little differences that we've got. Can he improve from here? Current rate, he will put himself top 10 if he can maintain this 1.5 seconds. Yeah, no, stays in 20th. Poddy's improved to 19th. He's not really setting any timing boards alight with the Apex Predators there. Great looking livery of the man ahead. Does he do anything from here in the 511 car? No, he stays 19th. He's not really improving anyway. Marco's not really improving. Trebek's in the pits. Pascal is out. He's on his outlap at the moment. T6 Motorsport Racing, number 67. Great looking livery. Needs a little bit, I think, of some go faster stripes. His teammates just behind him, Lloyd Biddulph, also in the T6 car, which is actually a Toyota. The liveries haven't come in, that's why it's showing up as the actual go fast delivery, but there we go. He's on his outlap, we'll keep an eye on him as that unfolds. Frozen Rostance is up to 17th, a bit further down in the grid at the moment. Nobody's really improving. No one's really improving, so they're going to have to be careful riding on board with it now for that fastest lap through the right hand. There we go. Needs to keep it nice and tidy, bringing up that engine modes, bringing up the rise that goes through across the start-finish straight. What can he do here? Rafferty's put himself into 10th position. John Petra is now down to 6th, so he's going to have to get himself a little bit of speed if he's going to want to sort it out. That's what's going to be key through this section now as he comes down the hill. It's a lovely little right-left-hander as he hits the old hairpin right at the bottom, and then you climb up the hill then under the old Starsky Bridge, which has actually been taken out now. He's 4/10 up, so nobody at the moment. Lloyd Biddulph's just gone faster. He's 19, he's gone 19th in that sector, so he's gone purple in sector 1. His best is a 108.878, so he's actually found a bit of time. Alberti has gone into 2nd, Anton is still in 3rd. So it's holding stations at the moment. Yellow in sector 2, any drivers approaching that, a couple are, so they will be affected. They're going to have to slow themselves down. Lloyd Biddulph does not improve, so he remains standard in that sector. What can Alex Axel do from here? Can he make it himself go any little bit faster from those sectors through the right-hander down the crest of the hill? Now he needs to keep it basically nice and tidy. Do no heroics, do nothing silly here to get himself a little bit of an improvement. He's at 19.266, he's 600ths of a second off in sector 1. You can see it, he's yellow on the board, 6/10 of a second. It's not his fastest in that sector. Again, another T6 Motorsport driver, so you get the feeling that they are all trying to win the Nxtgen Btcc Racing Series. So that's going to be interesting. Lloyd Biddulph has gone faster again. He's purple sector 1 and purple sector 2. Bottom right there, you can see him aboard 7/10 of a second at this current rate. He will be a 108.792 is what's coming predicted on the board. Can he actually extend this? Can he deliver this as he gets 107.108? No, he does. No, he doesn't. He does not improve, but Albert does. He gets himself 1/10 of a second into that target, 109.032. So him and it's going to be a two-way horse race, I think, at the moment between the Hyundai and the Astra, so that's going to be interesting as it unfolds. Now it's 1 minute 12 seconds remaining of the qualifying session. As it unfolds, you're going to have to stick with me through today until I can buy myself a new graphics processing unit, because the one I've got turns out doesn't have enough juice. So I will be back. I will be with you for the entire day. You're just going to have to put up with the very sketchy graphics. I know what is driving it, so I will try and keep that action with there through the entire race, and we will see how it unfolds. But I don't think anyone's going to go fastest with 38 seconds remaining. Rich Weatherhill is in the pits. He's given up. He's not going to get out now and put a lap in. Anton is still going for it. Anyone else moving further down the board? Simon Trebek's improved. Danielle. Sorry if I've ruined your name. Gets themselves up into 6th. Alesko is into 8th position again. Another BMW, very touchy on the rear wheel drive there. So that's abandoned. That is game over. Yellow in sector 1. That was the cause of it. That's abandoned. All drivers are starting to go into the pits now. What's Anton doing? He's into 4th position at the moment. Yeah, I don't think he's going to do anything really from here. Alan Axon, so Axon 19. He's gone personal best in Sector 1 at 19.179, so unless they're on a lap now, they're not going to go any faster. So what can Alex do here? Yeah, he's not going any real faster from one sector. What can Robert do? Can he deliver anything in the Hyundai? He's going to be the last man across the road, really. So we'll keep an eye on him as this goes, but I don't think anyone's going faster. Andre is going faster in Sector 1. Let's see how that goes. He's 6 tenths up in Sector 1, and then he was 9 tenths down in Sector 2. So Andre is going to need a mighty third sector if Andre wants to pull this out the bag. The problem is, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. As he crosses the line, a 108.958. Not good enough. Not good enough. Robert's still out there. He's the last driver on track. We'll follow Benny Norton around. Benny Norton's now in the pits, and the only driver left now is Robert Btcc. We're going to call him Robert. In the Infinity, he's got the tracks himself. 3 seconds up in Sector 1. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. 109.765. He's nearly a second off pole position. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do anything from here realistically. I think that is going to be it for the qualifying session. For the opening race at Donington, yeah, that's a pit. Got into the pits. So that's it, really. I think that's how it stacks up. There's a warm-up now of 5:23 minutes, so they're going to go out. They're going to get themselves checked out to make sure everything is okay as it currently stands at the moment. But hello and welcome to the commentary box. Sorry we're a bit late. We are having some like I said, we've got technical difficulties. It turns out I need more juice. You'll just have to bear with me this week. I will try and keep everything under control just to keep that stream going for you. But next week I'm going to have to buy a brand new graphics card, which means that we're going to have to get some more power in the computer. But for now, it's really interesting in terms of the qualifying session that we've had. They get a warm-up. Now, there is rain forecast according to the board, so that's going to be quite interesting if that actually materialises for the second races. Right, so the way that it's working for tonight is the drivers, we follow exactly the same format as the BTCC format. 100% we follow it exactly the same. So the qualifying positions in race 1 will determine the starting positions. The qualifying positions will determine the start positions for race 1. Race 2 is the finishing positions of race 1 determine the start positions of race 2. That's always exciting. Ballast is then put in board, and by ballast I believe we are running the push to pass, which means that you get less go, basically, which is going to be really exciting for the drivers, I think. It means that if you're at the front, you are actually disadvantaged, so you've got to have that raw speed in the car. Between races 1 and 2, I'll be spinning the wheel, and between positions 6 and 12 will be reversed. There will be a decision. So 1 to 6 will automatically be reversed. So if you finished 6th in race 2, you will be starting first in race 2. You will be starting at least 6th. That's the minimum. So 6 to 12 will be determined by the spin of the wheel, and if we start in 12th, and we'll spin that, and then we'll find out where the cut is for race 3. So it does mean that if you start in race 1 and you finish first, and you finished, say, 10th in race 2, and the split is at 6, is at 10, you could start pole in race 3. Makes it exciting. Is there going to be action in race 3? Yes, if you've ever watched classic touring car action, 100% guarantee somebody will be in a wall, something will be broken, or damaged, or whatever, because that's just what normally happens. It is touring car after all. Need I say any more? Right, we're going to go over now, see if there's anybody waiting in the commentary box. No, there isn't. So we do have live commentary as well for the drivers. That's always interesting to see how they go, but we tend to not see anybody really during the first couple of races, just because they're all trying to get themselves get themselves ready, and basically get themselves into a position that they are able to race, basically. And a lot of stuff goes through them. So we've got 2 minutes left of the warm-up session, and then we will go into there is a warm-up lap as well, which is kind of cool, which I really like. So it does mean that there is a warm-up lap, so the drivers do get a warm-up lap, which is cool. There is a function on this as well to do the start feature, which means that you can actually, it's got a whole thing where you press a button and it will actually tell you who's in the starting order, which is also really, really cool. So, my penny, as it always comes down, who do I think I'm going to put my 50p on? My 50p is going to be on Lloyd. If Lloyd is leading by the end of lap 1, my 50p is going to be on Lloyd to take race 1 victory, because I've seen him race before, I've seen him drive in other series, and he's just absolutely on it all the time. So I'd expect him to be at least first and top 3. There's somebody spinning out the car in the background there. They're going to have to warm their tyres up as well. There goes the Studio 393 board. So that's taken itself into its own little a world, should we say. So they're really going to have to think about this now, I think. And that's what's going to make this, it's going to make it super exciting, to be perfectly honest, because they can't just, they're going to have to really think about how they're just going to have to really think about it. They're not going to be able to just basically get the car, get it going as quickly as possible. So that's where they are, really. So, yeah. You'll just have to bear with me with the jerkiness for this week until we can get. I've seen a couple of comments coming in. They're saying, and it's quite nice, people just saying, don't worry about it, it happens, just get it sorted for next week, which we will. We will be back to full assortment next week. I can see quite a few in the chat. Please come and say hi. I'm Andy Pawley. I'm your commentator. I'm here for the entirety of today's event. Again, sorry for the delay, but it does happen. There are technical difficulties. We are a live program. Right.
All non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
So there is, we've already lost 2 drivers according to the timing board. So we've gone down from the 24 down to the 20. A bit of a shame there, but again, it is what it is. Yeah, cracking lap for the pole there. It was absolutely top banana, to put it that way. I mean, Lloyd was on it, but again, Lloyd is where I'd put my money for the... where I'd put my money. Is where I'd put my money, to be perfectly honest. I think he's going to take victory, to be perfect. Just because that's the way, yeah. That's just what I'd expect to see from him, to be honest. Second, there are some fast other drivers as well, so that's going to play into it as well. So, yeah, Lloyd. I was just thinking about it. Then top 10 again. We don't. Some of these drivers I've seen before. Fraser Rostance, I've seen. Simon Trebek, I've seen. Rich Weatherhill, who's currently top 10, seen him as well. Same as Anton and Alan Axon. So I have seen these drivers race before. So yeah, there is that. That whole level of that as it stands at the moment. So they're going to go through their warm-up lap. That's what they're doing now. And there is your starting order. The Nxtgen Btcc series from Donington. You've got Lloyd Biddulph and Alex Axon on the front row, followed by Anton and Richard Weatherhill on the second row. Third row, we've got Daniele and Alessio, the BMWs. Watch out for those rear-wheel drive. And then we've got the 2 Hondas of Dario and Simon Trebek. In the next row, we've got Fraser Rostance and Robert. That is the will be interesting. Benny Norton and Marco, another BMW. Watch out for them if they can get it off the line. Well, I say that, one of them's already gone off the road. Massimo Doni and Marco are on 13th and 14th. Jamie Dory way down down in the 15th, and Poddy Flack is in 16th. Jamie Dory's got the best looking car on the grid as far as I'm concerned. Stu Neal in 17th, Lee Horn in 18th, Alex Ward is in 19th, and Baz in 20th. And that's how it stacks up for tonight's starting order, well, according to my timing screen, so that's how it stacks up. And that is the starting order. It's going to be exciting. Only 20 cars in, like I said, but it is going to be absolutely wicked in terms of the driving tonight. I will try and keep you updated. Like I said, if it gets a little bit too jerky on the screen, we're going to have to take off the timing screens and go old school. But do not worry, I am a fully professional individual, so I believe I can do this, but we will see how that stacks up. We'll keep the timing and the race update box off for the minute and just keep with the tower, try and free up some of the CPU power. But right, they're all going to get themselves ready in the line as it stands at the moment. They've got to get themselves into their starting grids. There is no boost. You can see the second position we've lost already, so Lloyd Bidoff here is guaranteed a race victory in my eyes. It's his to lose. If he loses it, he's only got himself to blame, and that's what's going to be really. It's going to hurt him in the It'll hurt him in the championship. So they're all getting ready. You'll hear it, sir, on the board. It's just going to be a tricky start. They've got to get it ready. You'll hear the engine notes rise. With 8 seconds to go. There's the countdown. 5, 4, 3, engine notes rise, everybody gets ready, and it's lights out and away we go. And have they had the perfect start? Yes, they have. At the moment, you can see Lloyd Bidoff is leading into the start, followed by Alex Axon and Tamron. That's the 2 T6 Motorsports. There's the BMW of Daniele. Has he got himself further ahead? Yes, he has. Fantastic stuff. No, he hasn't. He's come together with his teammate immediately. He's hit his teammate. Cannot believe it. Absolutely livid stuff. He's going to be absolutely damaged from that, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes. There is Alex leading the 3 T6 Motorsports from Anton and Richard. Where's Daniele? There he is, and he's got all the Hyundais behind him. We're actually Hondas. There he is, BMW. There is Robert in the Infinity. Oh, there's an accident. There's an accident in the background. Benny Norton's already gone off. So has Poddy Flack. I cannot believe it. Fraser Rostand is side by side there with Marco. That is the 27 versus the number 11. Absolutely magnetic stuff riding on board now with Fraser Rostand. He gives that BMW a little bit of a light touch just ahead. What can he do from here? Can he deliver anything? He's going side by side. It's 2 by 2 into the Fogarty S's. They need to keep themselves all on the track facing the right direction. He's got it. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. Does he outbrake himself? No, he doesn't. There's a absolute carnage. There's a car. Jamie Dory's facing the wrong way. He's managed to sort himself out. Cannot believe it. There's accidents and actions all over the start on the front of the grid. There is Marco. He's going backwards. Simon Trebek's gone off the road. That's allowed the BMW, the number 4 of Marco, to get ahead of Fraser and Simon Trebek, who now have basically stuck together. There is the number 13 right behind. What can he do from here? Can they actually deliver any? He's got Dory on the side of the car, but it's actually Massimo. I think he's in the wrong livery, although both supporting Jamie Dory, because Jamie Dory's in 14th, but that's the way it stacks out. Lee Horn at the moment is attacking as we ride on board with Lee Horn in 13th position. Just ahead of him is Stu Neal in the 96 Seat Cupra. What can he do? Can he deliver anything from here? A little bit of the tap of the brakes through the right-hander. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. Do no silliness, and he'll get a lovely tow as he builds up the RPM. He's going into 4th, into 5th, over 130 miles an hour into the Fogarty S's. Does he go for the late brake manoeuvre? Does he take a brave pill? No, he thinks better of it. Reset all over again. Right, Richard Weatherhill riding on board with him now. He's attacking Anton, but he's also having to defend a little bit, but not too much at the moment. He's lost a little speed through Redgate corner, and that's really hurt him at the moment. But at the back, you can see the 2 teammates of Danielle and Alenzo. They are currently in 5th and 6th position. Can they do anything down into the old hairpin? But in the background there, you can see Benny Norton is being absolutely hounded by Jamie Dory. We're riding on board now with Dory, best looking livery. And Benny Norton's run wide. He's run wide out the old hairpin. Has that allowed the rear wheel drive Infinity to get a much better drive up the hill? I think it has. The question is he going to sail it into the inside? Is he going to be able to do anything? No, he isn't. He just didn't have the confidence in the braking. A little bit of a twitch there, and that's really hindered him through that section of the race. He's going to have to think about this and slow it down. We are 16 minutes remaining of the opening race of the Next Gen Racing Series, but he's gone wide, and Dario has got the inside. No, he isn't. Yes, he is. No, he isn't. He's going to, there's touch, there's contact. Does he make it through the corner into the right-hander? He thinks better of it. Absolutely clinical move there from Dario. He ticks the box and says thank you very much, checks himself out, and look how far ahead he is. Marco, his teammate, is right behind him, riding on board now with Marco. There is the Infinity of Jamie Dory. That's the real Jamie Dory, not the fake one with the wrong livery. And Jamie Dory's run wide, a little bit of a twitch there as we come down the hill now. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. Doesn't want to do anything silly with the throttle as we go through the left-hander. As you see out the back there, you can see Massimo is right on the back of this massive gaggle of cars as we ride on board now. Just ahead of that in 10th, 9th and 8th at this moment. Oh, he's gone wide. Has he gone wide? No, he hasn't. He's gone up the inside. He's managed to close onto the back of Simon Trebek. He is that Honda just ahead. There he is. There's the number 11. That is Simon Trebek. Right behind him is Massimo in the other Jamie Dory. Number 13, Infinity. Great looking car. As he builds up that speed now, holds onto it, tries to do no heroics. Through the left-hander, nearly hits the rear end of the T6 Motorsport car. Does he do anything? No, he doesn't. At the moment, Callum Wilson, if I put the timing tower on, he freezes my game, so I'm having to work with what I've got. But at the moment, Massimo is upside the inside of Marco. Has he got it done? Yes, he has, but the BMW, late on the brakes there, in the number 4, manages to hold on to it just enough. Oh, and he's run wide. Trebek has run wide, coming out of Redgate, and that's put him back into the clutches of Massimo in at the Jamie Dory number 13 pink car, and it's now rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. Simon Trebek is a front-wheel drive car in a rear-wheel drive sandwich. The question is, does he have the confidence in the brakes of that front-wheel drive car? Because he gets a much better drive out of the old hairpin. Down the gearbox he goes into third, coots around through the right-hander, and then is climbing up the hill. And as we ride on board with Massimo, you can see all of them snaking together, left and right, left and right. Lloyd Biddulph is currently leading by 6 seconds, so we're not watching him. I told you he was going to win. He's on a man on his own at the moment. But riding on board with Trebek, this is the battle for 9th position, don't forget. We're riding on board with Trebek. He's in 10th, right behind that. That is Massimo. He's in 11th. And the question now is, can that Turkington livery car, he's gone upside. Trebek had a much better drive coming out of the Fogarty S's, and that's allowed him to get a much better attack. The question is, that BMW is later on the brakes. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Cracking move there from Trebek. From 9th into 10th he goes. Oh, a little bit of a sim twitch there from the back of Massimo. Holding onto it just enough to put all 4 wheels on the corner. But look at Stu Neal and Lee Horn. Side by side, 2 by 2. Both front wheel drive cars into the old hairpin. Does Lee Horn get it done? Yes, he does. Lee Horn in the number 27. Ford Focus, 1, 2, 3, 4 car in the row. That's the one with the napper on the bonnet. You cannot miss it. A Dan Camish car, lovely looking car. Up to the hill we go through the right-hander. It is less than 12 minutes remaining of the opening race, and it's all to play for. Unless you're in first and you've just given your hotel room key back and you've checked yourself out. 7 seconds is the leader at the moment, but there are battles everywhere we look. At the moment, this is the battle for 10th position. As you can see, Lee Horn is getting a little bit more confidence, so the tyres are starting to come in. Now there is tyre selection on this as well. There's a choice between the softs and, the hards and the mediums, and they have to be selected pre-race. So if they are running the hards, they're going to start coming into their own now, which is what I think we're starting to see. Stu Neal there, he's at the back of this party. Is he going to be the bridesmaid or the bride? I don't know. Through the right-hander we go down into the dips, the right, left, down into the old hairpin. Absolutely bringing up the maximum speed once again. Dario, it's not Dario, it's Marco. He is the blockage. Neil's going to the right. I'm not sure Benny Norton was back enough No, he wasn't far enough back enough adrenaline from that position as it stands on. Fraser Rostance, he's making a little bit of progress as we leave that battle and rejoin the battle, which is effectively for 6th position as it stands at the moment. But in the background there, you can see Lee Horn. He's going all around the left and right of Massimo. Massimo's made contact with the rear there of Marco. Massimo versus Marco. That is 10th and 11th. BMW versus Hyundai. Oh, it's technically an Infinity. Rear-wheel drive versus the front-wheel drive of Stu Neal. But look at Benny Norton. He's absolutely sailed it up the inside. Textbook manoeuvre there. He's joined the party. Stu Neal was not expecting that to turn up. And there he was. Went to 11, boshed it, and he's got himself into 13th position. Absolutely sensational. But they're 3 wide. They're 3 wide. This isn't going to work. Somebody had to break out. Thankfully, he stopped. And in all of that, Massimo has got himself up the inside of Marco going down the hill. This is going to be extraordinary. Has he got it done? No, he hasn't. Marco in the BMW, that white car at the front. Oh, a lock up there. A lock up there from Massimo in the number 13. Nxtgen Racing pink car. A little bit of a sim twitch. But he's going to need a new pair of underpants after that one. Cannot believe it. Goes up to the top of the hill. It's reset all over again. At the moment, you can see riding on board with Lee Horn. But look who's joined the party. Dario. He's in 15th position. He's joined the party at the back of this. Massimo is just trying to fight the car ahead, but he has to be careful now because Benny Norton, 1, 2, 3, the 3rd car in the row, the Cupra, is causing all sorts of pain, and that's the problem he's got at the moment. They're holding station with less than 10 minutes remaining of the opening race. They're gonna have to think about the long game here because they can't afford to stove it into the wall, but all the cars are now starting to group together as you see Jamie Dory and Poddy Flack in the background. Stu Neal is trying to defend there from Lee Horn because he managed to get himself a little bit ahead. Lee Horn is on the move, so is Jamie Dory at the back, so he's kind of joining the back of this party. He's actually in the 13 Dory car. And he's now slowly joining the back of this party. So as you can see at the moment, 10th to 17th is all clustering together. Everyone else is kind of spread out at the front at the moment. We'll see how Daniele's doing. Oh, he's gone wide there. Marco in the BMW has gone wide. Oh, there's contact! There's contact! There's contact! Absolutely massive accident. Benny Norton has had an accident. Oh, whoa, there goes Jamie Dory. There goes Jamie Dory. Does he manage to get himself on the road? He's all off. I cannot believe it. Simon Trebek has managed to... Where's Marco? Marco, that little accident has allowed Marco to be released from the clutches of Massimo, Neal, Dario, Horn, and Marco could not believe that. We didn't get that post-race. We will have a look at the analysis post-race, see what happened there. But that was very, very tricky. As always, we only see it on one go, but that's racing sometimes. 8 minutes remaining. Marco at the front in that BMW has managed to get through. Massimo, now he's been released. I think we're going to see some true pace from him. So this is the opportunity for Marco in 10th position to basically get ahead. He has to go gun hell for leather now if he wants to hold on to that 10th position, because this man here, Massimo, at the moment is setting my timing screens alight. So he has a real possibility to actually get himself up into that top, into a proper race winning position. At the moment it looks like my GPU is actually getting a little bit better, so we'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds, but it means that we have, I don't know what that box does, let's take that box out, 7 minutes 43 seconds remaining as they're all fighting each other now at the top. So Massimo's going to have to really think about what he wants to do, because when we look at the battle here, he gets himself a little bit closer. He's 0.3 of a second behind. It's changing all the time in the timing screens as we ride on board with him now. So he's going to have to look really, really carefully and think really long and hard about what he wants to do here, because as Marco's run wide, I cannot believe Marco's run wide. He had that opportunity there to sort himself out, but I don't think he did. He's resulted in himself, I think, ending up in his own little accident, and because of that, he's now back into the clutches. Oh, another lock up there from Massimo in the pink Nxtgen Jamie Dory car. Team Hard, Stu Neal just ahead of him, and in the background, Lee Horn is absolutely on it. Lap after lap. The problem Lee Horn's got is he just can't stove it up the inside, because if he makes a mistake, it's going to cost him. Massimo is on the back. Stu Neal is going to attempt to go up the inside here of Marco. Oh, there's contact. There's contact between the two drivers. I got that on replay. Stu Neal needs to get this done because Marco there is defending for his life, and then you can see Dario. It is 4 wide going into the Fogarty S's. This is not a good idea. Someone's going to end up in the back. Someone's going to have an accident. They all managed to get themselves through. Magnetic stuff. Jamie Dory in the background. It's not Jamie Dory, it's Lee Horn. Lee Horn there, he's on the left side. He is the Napa car, the Ford Focus Napa. He's managed to get himself ahead of Marco. Behind that at the moment is Dario. There is Marco. He's trying to push himself up the side of Dory. It's just not going to work. Riding on board now with Lee Horn. Right behind him is Marco. He's in the BMW rear-wheel drive, don't forget, front-wheel drive. And ahead of that there is Massimo. Down into the old hairpin, nice and tidy here. We've got a driver off. Dario's gone off. It's not Dario, it's Rich Weatherhill. Rich Weatherhill has gone off. It was one of the T6 Motorsport drivers. How far does he lose? Simon Trebek has regained. Stu Neal has mugged him as well. The difference is now, how far has he lost? He's lost a lot of places there. Rich Weatherhill stuck in 11th position now. He's outside the top 10. That's going to be important. He needs to get himself top 10 for reverse grid. He's got to do this. That's why they're all squabbling around for 10th position, because it's vital that they get it. There goes Massimo on the brakes into Rich Weatherhill. That was never going to work through there. Not in a million Sundays of a Friday. It was just not going to work. That was the problem. And now Massimo. Jamie Dory, I think, had an accident all by himself. I didn't see it on stream. Well, we might have done, but he had an accident all by himself. So he's done it all again. Rich Weatherhill is going to go for the old switcheroo. The question is, he won't have the drive on Massimo. Stu Neal has got himself 0.6 of a second away now. So he's made that gap, which is what he needed to do. Because if he didn't break that toe, he was not going to happen. There is Marco, who's now still got Lee Horn behind him, and Marco, the other Marco, is behind a lot of them as well. So it's BMW versus Ford. You're not going to go around there unless you've got a massive brave pill, which he seems to have taken. And the problem is, you're always going to get run wide there, and he loses speed. That's the problem he's got. Not sure what's happened here. Oh yeah, my game's probably out of Twitch, so it's gone through into the Fogarty S's, and he's going to have to keep it nice and tidy with no heroics here. So we're up into watching the battle now. This is the battle here for 5th position. So this is unfolding. I'm keeping an eye on the battle in that midfield. It seems to have quietened itself down now. So you've got Alesso versus Fraser and Simon Trebek, 7th, 6th and 5th. They're all battling at the front. Lloyd is 13 seconds ahead. It's 3 minutes remaining of the opening race. As we watch there, Dario coming down, riding on board now. It's not Dario, it's Robert. There is Robert. He's at the back of this pack. He's slowly and surely winding himself forward, little by little, bit by bit. So the question he's got to do now is, can he catch the battle of Trebek, Rostand and Mordini? That's going to be the key, because he hasn't got long to do this. So he's going to really have to think about how he attacks the car. As we see, I think that's Dario going off. Yeah, Dario went off in the back all by himself again. So as we rejoin the battle, this is Trebek. He's in 7th position. Just ahead of him is Fraser Rostand. Ford versus Honda. They have raced together in 2 previous series. I have seen them. There is no love lost between these two. Respectful racing. Oh, the rear-wheel drive of Robert. Oh, he's managed to catch it. Absolutely sensational stuff. He was nearly in the wall, but then he wasn't. In the background, Rich Weatherhill is being attacked by Marco in the BMW. One of them's attacking the other one. Yeah, they are. So there's Rich Weatherhill. Yeah, he's lost out to Marco. Marco just used the superior drive of the BMW. A little bit of a twitch there, a little bit of a tap on the rear end. He says, I'm coming, you know I'm here. Rich Weatherhill, he said, I'm there, but yeah, Marco's not going to fall for that one. Wily old fox, Marco. He understands how it's done. He just plonks the car where he needs to plonk it and leave it. The front wheel drives will have the advantage through the old hairpin, but I don't think it's going to be enough to extract and get what he needs to do. do. They're 34 seconds off the lead, but that doesn't matter. Whoa, he's had an accident. He's had an accident in the background. Does Marco hold on to it? Does he lose out to Lee Horn? I'm not sure he does. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. We're trying to watch this balance. Fraser Rostance is on the back of Trebek. We'll quickly flip to that battle as these three are still battling each other for that position. The question is, Trebek just has a much better drive coming out the corner. Fraser Rostance is just not confident on the brakes. He has to brake that little bit later, and that's costing him valuable seconds, valuable meters coming into that corner. Lee Horn is on the attack once again. This is the battle for 14th and 15th position. It's the back of the prize, but that's what's important. Alex Ward is in 18th, Baz is in 19th, and Poddy Flack down in 20th on the board. So that, we'll see how that goes. But at the moment, Marco he's just on his own. Rich Weatherhill is gone off. Massive accident! The man's lost a wheel. He's going nowhere but right back to the recovery truck. Somebody call an ambulance. He's out of the count. That's absolutely gutting there for Marco. He was on for a great position, but he's just gifted 12th position to Rich Weatherhill. So he's basically on his own now. He's 4 seconds away from next driver, which is Massimo. He's not going anywhere near that man. He's just checked himself out. He's driving away as it unfolds. We're looking at the battle. So there's Fraser Rostance. As we've got, this will be the last lap. Fraser Rostance, as you can see there, Simon Trebek is attacking Alessio Mordini. Mordini is in the number 4 white BMW. Behind that is Trebek, and he's absolutely applying the pressure on at the moment. This is 6th, that is 5th. Car number 4 versus car number 11. A little bit of a tap there, and he will get a much better drive coming out of the old hairpin. The front wheel drives should have the advantage here, as the rear wheel drive BMWs have to straighten themselves up before they can put the power on. And the problem with that is he's just gaining and gaining and gaining, but he's going to run out of laps. The same as Robert. Robert's going to run out of laps in number 18. The question is it going to be a last dive attempt from Fraser Rostance into that corner? Is he going to attempt to go for him? He's right on the rear end now. He's so close, he can smell the 101 octane in that car. That's out. He's had a twitch, he's on his own. He's not going to go anywhere from that unless he does a Hail Mary and just ploughs it into the corner, but that's not going to happen. There is Lloyd Biddulph, our race winner, followed by Alan, who didn't look at it. Anton takes a third. Here comes Danielle. Danielle, basically with the rest of the field, followed by Alonso in 5th. Simon Trebek is in 6th. Rostance is 7th. 8th is Robert. 9th is Dario. 10th is Neil. Massimo is in 11th. Weatherhill is in 12th. Lee Horn is in 13th. Marco is 14th. Jamie is 15th. Benny Norton 16th. Alex Ward is bringing home the Ford. He's not far off the lead as well. 1:12.310 is his fastest lap, which is not the fastest lap out there, which is absolutely sensational. Baz brings the car home as well. Great looking livery there, Baz. Love that. Poddy Flack and Marco is retirements. So yeah, he's not going to. It is what it is, I think. They're not going to go any further than that. So obviously, pending any incidents or accidents, there is your results. Lloyd takes the first opening win, followed by Alex, Anton, and Danielle. Someone will probably have a go at me on how to say the name properly. Mordini is in 5th. Trebek is 6th. Rostance is 7th. 8th is Robert. Dario is in 9th. Juniel is in 11th. There is actually more results, but for some reason they are. Oh god, there's another button. There you go. Still learning the software. Massimo is in 11th, followed by Richards in 12th. Lee Horn is 13th. Marco is 14th. Jamie Dory is 15th. Benny Norton is 16th. Alex Ward is 17th. Baz is 18th. Poddy Flack is 19th. And Marco, after that accident, brings the car home in 20th. It was some great racing, lots and lots of talking points between the drivers. They've all got to go round and basically park back in the grid, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, I've got to remember which app I need because I've got lots of apps that run and go from there. We'll try and figure it out as I go along. So we're back in for race 2. It looks like once again we're having some the server's doing some weird things, which is causing some it looks like my audio is going a bit off. So just give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. I think I went silent for a bit. So just give me a thumbs up to make sure I'm still not just talking to myself. Right, while that's sorting itself out, what we're going to do is we're going to go to spin the wheel. So, as I said, between races 1 and 2, the grid is put into a reverse, but for race 3. So while that's trying to figure itself out, I don't know what it's doing, but it's doing something. We're going to spin the wheel, and then we're going to report on which driver position will be reversed. So it's always exciting. It always provides jeopardy in terms of the drivers, and it is position 6. So car 6 for race 3 will be the driver who finished 6th will be on pole position, which is absolutely sensational. I think it's going to provide some absolutely brilliant racing. I've got to put that into the drivers, there's nobody in the commentary box at the moment. I am all alone as it stands at the moment. And it is position it's position 6 as it stands at the moment. We're just having a quick look to make sure there's nothing in the other commentary. No, there isn't. So we are all good as it stands at the moment, which is fantastic. The drivers are loading themselves in to get everything nice and ready. We're going to go across now. So you're back to me in here. Absolutely brilliant stuff. We're going to try and load up and see what I got on the replay analysis. So if you're new, we do have a replay function as it stands at the moment. But again, we had to shut it down because of all the things. Yeah, it's just completely gone now. Hopefully it will sort itself out. But as always, we are live. And because we are live, it means things happen. There we go. Things happen as I see them, basically. You see them as I see them. Lots and lots of talking points from that race, as always, because I think there was some scruffiness that was going on, is the way that I would put it. And I think that's, again, a lot of these drivers have come across from other platforms. It's a slightly different type of racing than you get from something like not R-Factor 2, because that's what we're driving. Trying to think what the game was. It's slightly different racing than you get from Race Room, because the way the game is developed, it's a lot harder to put get everything sorted, everything aligned. So I think they've still got a bit to learn. I still think they've got a little bit just to get themselves used to this type of racing. So let's have a quick look while we've got some time. So we did have some. Let's have a little look what we got on the old replay. So again, these are only from one camera angle. So this is the Stu Neal overtake. So this was Stu Neal versus Marco. So it was the BMWs on the right side. Now, when you actually watch this, so we always talk about on the overtakes, it's always about being past the B, basically the B pillar. So Stu Neal is near as enough makes no difference, level pegged. So he's entitled to that corner. So Marco is going to have to leave room so that Stu Neal can take the tighter line. He's allowed to do that. He's past the B pillar. He's not stoved up the inside. He hasn't done anything silly. And the problem is here, see, this is the argument. This is where it can get a bit tricky. Because Stu Neal, at this point, is still on the constant bearing. He's still going dead straight. Marco has gone to make the corner. Really, Stu Neal, again, should be taking that line. So all that's going to happen is contact, which is what you get. and that looks like it's 2 cars contacting dead ahead. So it just looks a bit. Yeah. So for me, I think that's nothing. Half a dozen of nothing and half a dozen of the other. Personally, I think it's a bit silly, to be perfectly honest. But I don't think there's anything in that, to be perfectly honest. So I think I just think that's one of those things really in what they have. I've just seen a comment to do with ballast. I have to refresh my own memory on the rules in terms of the ballast because I was looking at something the other day and I completely forgot what the ballast is, which is very unhelpful for everyone actually following this. So from my understanding, ballast is added on ballast is added for races 2 and for 3 based off the finishing positions of race 1. I'm also being told that Lloyd is also, so that's the way that I believe it is. I'm just trying to get the spreadsheet up. Someone will probably pipe in and tell me how it's done. From my information, there it is. I'm just going into the rules now so I can get that for you. The other information I have is Lloyd is actually a Tripsix Motorsport driver. So he is going to be, his delivery just hasn't loaded properly into the game. So the way that it works is all rear-wheel drive cars have a mandatory 10 kilograms of weight due to the imbalance of performance on front-wheel drive cars. In terms of the ballast, it is now frozen, and first gets 75 kilos, second gets 66 kilos, third gets 57 kilos, fourth gets 48 kilos. It's done per exactly like the BTCC rules and regulations, hence why it's quite high. Someone also asked a question not in there, but about weather. They said weather is all based off, will be presented on this day, as in today. So it's based on 10:30, 12:30 and 15:30. That's how races 1, 2 and 3 are decided. And it's the day before the race day. And if you're part of the Discord member, you can go in and have a look. So which is why it's coming up that there should be rain, because yesterday it was raining. We will see. In terms of the ballast, so again back to the ballast. So again we've got that split. It follows the full touring car ballast. The top 10 drivers from race 1 success ballast is based off the top 10. So if you finished first in race 1, you've got the maximum ballast for race 2, 75 kilos. Does it make a difference? Yes, it does. Race 3 is a reverse grid drawn by the commentator. That was me. So 6th in race live between positions. So 13 and 23 from race 2. Top 10 from race 2 is success. I might have done that wrong. Someone's probably going to come in here and actually pipe up in a minute and tell me that that was wrong. I thought it was different. We'll double check. So like I said, I'm still trying to iron the bugs out because unfortunately I've had to try and figure out what's going on. So the ballast is basically the ballast the top 10 from race 2 will race with success ballast, and I believe that ballast will be based off the finishing positions of race 3's success ballast is finished off the success of race 2, and that's how it stacks up, which again makes it quite exciting in terms of the ballast. I will get this all clarified for next week. Like I said, I had some technical difficulties, so I've had to try and work through those as quickly as possible in order to get us some showing, because I didn't want to not stream to you guys, because it's always not as good as it stands at the moment. So in terms of, we're going to check on the ballast. We're not the ballast, we're going to check on the reverse positions, just to check I did it correctly. It's going to be interesting. Again, 75 kilograms on board the car. I do think Lloyd, but I do think, yes. So it's P6 to P12 in the draw does work. So I am right with everything I'm saying. Okay, so just to clarify, to give you a quick recap, race 3 will be the finish. It's basically going to be a reverse grid, and it is a wheel spin, so it will be position 6 will be reversed, and that's off the finishing positions. I believe it is race 2 actually. It'll be race 2. 75 kilograms on board the car for Lloyd. He is the race winner, so he has 75 kilograms on board that car, and then it goes down per the BTCC. Does that make a difference? Yes, 100% it does. It's going to cause all sorts of... It causes the tyres to overheat. He's going to have to really think about his braking. He's going to have to think about car rotation. What's it worth? I don't know. I have seen Lloyd run with ballast before at 80 kilograms in race room, and it cost him nearly a second and a half a lap. But 17 laps, he was near enough, makes no difference, 13 seconds ahead. Where does that put him? I believe top 3. I believe that will put him into top 3. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very tricky, I think. Very, very tricky for him. Well, we've got a bit of time, so there is about a 20-minute gap between the two races. Let's have a look at what else we got on the board. I think this is the Lee Horn manoeuvre. I don't think it's anything that's in here. Yeah, so this is the marker incident. So we didn't see how it started, a bit of a shame, but we saw how it ended. And yeah, he's not recovering from that at all. So that was basically a DNF for him. Bit of a shame, he's not going to recover from that. It is what it is, unfortunately, in terms of some of those things that we get. I think this is the Benny Norton one. Yeah, so this is the Benny Norton incident. So again, you've got Marco in 10th, and then you have that is Massimo, so that he's riding in the James Dory Nxtgen Btcc car, and that is Benny Norton. And I think he just outbrakes himself. That's the problem. And so what happens is when they actually arrive at the corner, there's contact to the rear quarter panel there. Oops, that's the one I want. There's rear contact there. It's a rear wheel drive car. It's not going to recover from that, and that just starts a whole host of events from that, because that causes the spinning of Massimo. Massimo then has to gun it. Benny Norton then has to take avoiding action. So Benny Norton is going to go this way. We'll get the arrows up. We'll have to go that way. Massimo is pointing this way. He does recover it, but then everybody else, where it doesn't recover it, he goes round. Makes contact, that recovers the front of Massimo, and then what proceeds to happen from that point is Stu Neal here then has to go round here, he goes here, and eventually Jamie Dory does join the incident and goes like this, and that just causes a whole thing. How do I read that? Again, that's going to be a tough penalty, I think. Again, it's going to look at braking points, was he locked up, things like that. From that, is that a penalty? Yes, I probably would say, because of the accident that occurs following that. So, yeah, I do think there's going to be a report, and I do think there will be a accident following that. Also this one as well, this is one of the overtakes, and this was, so again, this is where they were all fighting each other, and they were absolutely on the limit from the start of the race. And now this is just a textbook overtake. He's got the overlap, so he's then gives him the drive into the Fogarty S's, and there's nowhere to go really. That's just, he's just got to hit the brakes later, and it's a marginal. We're talking fractions of a second here. So the BMW has braked here. The Focus has braked here. And because of that, you then see Trebek. He's also tried to go for the dummy. Hasn't worked. Doesn't matter. Job is done by that point. So it's game over. There's Robert. That's Robert in the Infinity. And there's another massive incident, which I'm surprised didn't take any more cars out. We saw the tail end of it. You've got another Focus that's coming here. Cars are going this way. I am genuinely surprised. No, and there is contact right there. Just off camera. There is massive contact. Is that a penalty? Yeah, unfortunately. There will be a penalty for that way. I don't really see how else that could have happened. Taking avoiding action, you're basically in a no-win situation. You're going to hit something, you can do your best, it's going to happen. I mean, again, we can't see what there could have been another cause for that incident, but for myself, it's essentially that's an incident, and there's not a lot we can do to that, really. This is the start of the race. Before we go back over to the stream, and you can see they're all vying for position here, and the BMWs, and this is the problem that the BMWs have. As we watch Robert going off there, the problem we've got is that the BMWs, you just have to tap
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
and it goes off. And it is what it is. Right, we're going to go across now. All the drivers are going to get themselves ready. The warm-up is now finished. So we're going to go back over to the main stream again. Don't forget, ballast is on board the car. And that will, of course, affect them. It's going to really cause some issues, I think, in terms of the drivers that are there. They're all in the pits at the moment. It's 45 seconds to go. They will then get their warm-up lap. That's how it starts. Like I said, Lloyd Biddulph will be on pole position as it stands at the moment, which is brilliant. So your starting order for race 2. Lloyd Biddulph, once again, on pole, but again, he got that. Alex is in second. Anton is third. Daniele is in fourth. BMW, watch out for that. It should be a fast mover. You've got Alenzo in 5th. Simon Trebek is in 6th. Fraser is in 7th. Robert is in 8th in the Infinity. He's in the Moffat Infinity. Love that car. It's a good-looking car. Dario is in 9th. Junior is in 10th. Massimo is in 11th. Rich Hill is in 12th position as it stacks itself up. We then have Lee Horn, Marco, followed by Jamie Dorey and Benny Norton in 16th. It is now raining. I told you the rain was coming. A whole different set of skills. 75 kilograms is going to cause all sorts of carnage. Alex, followed by Baz, followed by Podifad, by Marco, starting at the back of the grid. Again, because Marco has unfortunately had little bit of an incident there. We saw that last time out. Are they all going to get round? So they're all, if they've done no wet weather running, they're all now going to be venturing into this for the very first time. Is it going to affect them? Is it going to cause them some issues? Yes, it is. 100% it is going to cause them issues because you have to brake later. Tyre choice is now open because it is a wet session. Spray is going to be a real problem. We do have some cars who are still in the pit. Spray is also going to be a massive problem as it stacks itself out. See, people are running wide already. And that's the problem with that Fraser Rostans. Yeah, Fraser Rostans. So it's going to cause he's run wide already. It's a 20-minute race. Finish and starting positions are as we said. That's the schedule. We're running a little bit behind time, 20:35. I don't know. Yeah, we're about an hour behind on the current schedule as it stands out at the moment. So we're a little bit behind. Reverse grid, P6 to P12 drawn, so P6 will be on pole. Right, 23 drivers are in tonight for this session, so they restarted the session. some of them are going to have... Fraser Rostance has gone into the pits already. As they line themselves up, you'll have to bear, as I said, the CPU, I am watching the CPU usage as it stands at the moment, so if it times out, we will not be able to give you the same timing screens, purely because if I do, it will result in a game falling over, but we will try and get some of the information up for you as it stands at the moment. But there it is, it's a wet race, it's 4 seconds to go, it's lights out, hold on to your horses, and it's lights out and away we go. And who has had a perfect start? The BMW at the background, a brilliant start as they're all scrabbling in the middle, and you can see there Marco has had a brilliant start. We're going to have to take that off and that off to get some action going in at the front as they're all scrabbling through. You can see Robert has gone into the pits. Where is Anton? He's in the middle of the field at the moment. There he is in the Trip 6 Motorsport pack angle of cars. Just ahead of him is Simon Trebek, trying to do all he can on the opening race. There's contact in the background, there's contact, he's managed to hold on to it just enough. Fantastic stuff as Andre and Stu Neal are side by side, as already Fraser Rostance is off the road. Does he get it back on? Just enough. There's Baz, but he's run wide and that's allowed Andre to go through, and Alex Ward. At the moment, Fraser Rostance is just going backwards and backwards. But again, the ballast is going to be hurting him there. And that's also allowed Robert to go back. Where is Baz? Baz is down in 20th position at the moment. There he is. Is he doing anything? Is he being able to get anything from here? No, he isn't, but he's got the fast-moving Robert all over the rear end of him. As Robert goes up the inside, does he get the textbook move done? Yes, he does. A little bit of contact, but nothing untoward there. Absolutely fantastic stuff there from Robert. He gets another position. Into 18th he goes. Holding on to that at the moment. Let's leave the battle and go back to the battle in the middle of the field. At the moment, they're all squabbling over each other. The ballast on board that as well. That is number 8, Lee Horn. Don't forget, he is left side in that Napa car. He's side by side there with Alencio Morbideni. Can he do that? As he a little bit of a squirming there of the BMWs. Rear wheel drives. As you see Massimo, he's going side by side there with the BMW. 2 rear wheel drive cars side by side. Behind that is Andretti in the number 12. Needs to keep it nice and tidy here as we climb up the top of the hill. Needs to do no heroics as one of the front wheel drive Lee Horns run wide again. And that's pushed him out onto the side of the racetrack. Has that hurt him? Yes, it has. He's losing more and more time. The BMWs are just getting a much better drive. He's in 12th position at the moment. Behind him, running on board now with his in the BMW. Behind that is Jamie Dory in the front wheel drive car, which is actually rear wheel drive car, number 14 in the Infinity, as they're all trying to squabble to find position, find space, find visibility. At the moment, there is Marco. He's in 8th position. Just ahead of him is Benny Norton, up to 7th. He's made progress, but he hasn't made enough yet. He needs to get into 6th position. 6th will be pole, so he's got to go faster. That's what he's got to do. At the moment, they're all kind of holding station at the back. There's Jamie Dory in 14th. Just ahead of him is 13th, and that is Alberti. What can he do here? Lee Horns run wide again in that Napa number 27. So Lee Horn is just not having a good day. His day is going from bad to worse at the moment. But you can see just ahead the entire group of cars. 7th, 8th, 9th. One of the BMWs is going up the inside of Massimo. He's not going to do it. Andretti has gone wide. He's gone wide. How many positions does he lose? 1, 2, 3. Has he lost out to Jamie Dory as well? Rear wheel drive, all climbing up to the top of the hill. Does he lose out? Has he lost that position? No, yes, no. His day has just gone from bad to worse. 14th, down he goes. Needs to hold on to that. Poddy Flack is now up to 16th. He's got Robert in the rear wheel drive right behind him. Marco is attacking at the moment. There's Marco. There's Baz. Behind him is Simon Trebek, riding on board now with Simon Trebek. What can he do? But we're leaving that for Rich Weatherhill. He is side by side there with Benny Norton. Benny Norton is the roadblocker here. There is Benny Norton, followed by Rich Weatherhill, followed by Mordini, followed by Marco. It is BMW rear wheel drive all over there, the sign of Rich Weatherhill. Can Rich Weatherhill hold on to that position? He is the car on the left. He's the yellow and black car. That is Rich Weatherhill. Just ahead of him now is Alonso Mordini. He's got the job done. In the background there, it is Massimo. Left side of Massimo. At the moment, that is Andrea. Has he done anything? No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. He's managed to get it done. Marco in the BMW. There's a lot of BMWs. There is the number 4 Turkington car of BMW. Behind that is the number 12 Jenny car. That is of Torska. And we're riding on board now. He's got Lee Horn all over the rear end there. So Lee Horn is trying to push it. At the moment, I'm keeping an eye on the battle for first. Lloyd hasn't broken away, but again, 75 kilograms on board that too. So he's holding on to it as much as possible. That's the issue he's got. So he's trying to do something from here. The question is, can he do anything? I don't think he can. As we go back to the battle for the mid-pack, there is Rich Weatherhill in 6th position. There is the 2 teammates of Massimo and Jamie Dorey, the Nxtgen Racing Pink Infinities. They're struggling to get through. Rich Weatherhill, they've all gone wide. They've all gone wide into the corners. Once again, Rich Weatherhill's made a mistake and he's gone backwards. Over again, backwards, 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 backwards. Has he held on to it just enough? I thought he was going to... No, he's made contact. There's contact again. He's gone off. That is Anton Temenga. Oh, he finished 3rd in race 1. He's now gone back. He's run off the right race. He's had an accident and he's collected the field. They are all struggling now. So 3rd place, Anton, don't forget, has 40, he has 57 kilograms on board that car. Look at the BMWs. Oh, there was contact. He's spun him round. There's going to be a massive accident. He's absolutely trashed the whole field. Has got a massive accident. The BMW has gone off as well. What's happening? There's cars pointing every which way and loose. There's a DNF. Rich Weatherhill has managed to recover, but he's going to have he is not pointing in the right direction for that. He's going to be absolutely raging in that helmet, but that means that's a DNF. He's going to try and get the car home, but that's going to be a DNF. Rich Weatherhill, Simon Trebek, his car's crabbing as well, so he's going to struggle there, I think, in the Axon car, in the black Honda. So the day has gone from bad to worse. Red weather always does that, but that's how it stacks up at the minute. The rest of the field is still fighting as it stands at the moment. So this is Andre Romy at the back there of Jamie Dorey. So he's got a massive leapfrog from that incident. A couple of other drivers, Robert and Poddy in 14th and 15th, they've also benefited from that as well. But at the moment, if we ride on board the 10th place man, you can see 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th and 5th all together in one picture. The problem they're having is they're just not being able to slow the cars down, as Jamie Dorey in the pink Infinity is upside the long side of Benny Norton. Has he got the job done? He won't go around the outside there. The BMW sneaks it up the inside. Benny Norton loses the rear end, holds on to it just enough, but has he held on to it enough? That's what's going to be key here. Is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to hold on to that position? The timing tower is back up as the field spread out. We might get away with it as we hold up. Down the field we go. Jamie Dorey is going to see if he can go through into that corner, into the Fogarty S's. No, it's not going to happen there. Dorey is not going to be able to do that. He's up to the 9th position. He's just not going to be able to hold on to it. I think it's reset all over again. Benny Norton is struggling. The rain has stopped, but it is still wet, so it's going to make no difference. Tyres are going to be heating up now. There is less than 12 minutes remaining of this opening, of this second race of the evening. So it's all to play for. 23 cars on the field, 22 still driving. Stu Neal, he got involved in that incident, and he's just trying to bring the car home. He does not want a DNF. Lloyd Biddulph has lost the lead. We were watching the other battle as it unfolded. He's lost the lead to the BMW. So I think now Lloyd Biddulph is really struggling. Really struggling for this section. Dario has a real opportunity here to fight, but look at the battle in the bar. There's contact in the background. Massimo, no, it's not, it's Jamie Dorey. Jamie Dorey has gone off the road again, and that's how far does Jamie Dorey go around? 11th. He had an accident all by himself. and that's resulted in going to the back of the field. I say the back of the field, it's 11th position. Mirzov makes no difference to him. He's going to be absolutely livid over that. So Massimo, at the moment, he's attacking Alan and Mordini. That is the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. We're on board with 6th with Boni, Massimo Boni. What can he, or Boni? But he's going to try, and he's got so much confidence on the brakes. He just brakes so much later. And look into Redgate, and he just gets it done. He's absolutely on fire. If it was actually fire, if it was hot, he's just so much confidence, and he just managed to pass Axon with ease. He just drove past him. Question now is, how far can Massimo get? That's going to be the key. Lloyd is currently 1.4 seconds off the lead, but in the background, Alex is going back as well. Alan is going back as well. He's got Andre absolutely attacking. Andre is in the BMW who goes up the inside. I think Axel's really struggling there. I think he's struggling. I'm pretty much sure Roby's going to rob him as well. Yeah, Andre's going up as well. He's going to mug him as well. Has he run out of fuel? Is there something wrong with the car? He's lost a lot of pace. Yeah, he's nowhere near his last. He's in the 120.5. He's near enough, makes no difference. A second slower than everybody else. He's a second slower at the moment. So he's really struggling. Alan, I'm not sure how, Axel, I'm not sure it is Alan, how far Alan's going to go back, but at the current rate, Andre's going to mug him as well, who's in 8th position, so he needs to keep an eye on that as it unfolds. But Massimo, the man on the move, he's up into 5th, and he's absolutely putting the lap times in there, 1:17.489. The leader, to give you an idea how fast Massimo is in these conditions, the leader is doing a 1:17.451, but the man on the move is 6th position. He's in a 1:16.762, fastest lap of anybody in this race. At this time, he's absolutely ticked the box. He's checked himself out, gone to McDonald's, got himself a McFlurry, and he's absolutely storming it through the field. But Massimo now is right on the attack. You're not going to go up there, you're not alongside enough. So he's going to have to think better of it. He has pushed his way in there. We'll have a look at that replay analysis. Put his lights on now. But he's attacked the back of Alicio. That is done, job done. That's another one off the tick list. Andre is absolutely on it. BMW versus BMW. Those rear-wheel drive cars at the moment are coming into their own. Daniele at the front is near enough, makes no difference, 4.3 seconds in the lead as it stands at the moment. Can Andre? Yeah, Andre's gone up the inside as well. That's another one done. Alan's lost another position. Alan is in the number 11 Cupra. Lost another position, down to 8. Just going backwards and backwards and backwards and backwards at the moment. So yeah, that's not good. Alan's going to have to really think about that, because I'm not sure if they're struggling. Is he struggling? Yeah, must be struggling with the car. Benny Norton's, the BMWs they're just finding their own speed now. The BMW in these conditions just seem to be the car to have. They seem to be the ones to be able to extract the maximum performance from the vehicles as it stands at the moment. He's doing a 119.972. Benny Norton, Marco is nearest as makes no difference. Benny Norton's run wide. He's just run wide and allowed Marco to go through. So Marco, who started at nearest as makes no difference, the back of the grid, is now into top 9. Top 10 he's up to. So yeah, gonna struggle from that. Dario is alongside. Massimo is into 3rd. You're not going to go through there. It's all coming up on the timing board. Massimo is going to have to give that position back. As there's no way that the penalty is going to stand. Yes, he's given that position back. Massimo had to do that because that was going to be an easy penalty if Massimo kept that position, because it was effectively looked like it was a force off track. But now he's struggling. So I think the BMWs they're not really finding, they've slowed down a bit now. Andre is the driver who's on the move, 1:16.486. Still best lap last time was 1:17, not 1:19. Andre's on the move on the back of Dario. There is Dario in the number 70. Dario is in the Honda car on your right, Starlight, at number 70. And those BMWs, anything in a rear-wheel drive now is top 5, it's top 6. The BMW in these conditions is the car to That's another one done. Dario is the highest placed front-wheel drive in 7th position. And there's another BMW of Marco. He's also attacking the back of this. I think realistically the highest Marco is going to get is going to be 7th position. I don't think Marco is going to get any higher than that. We'll keep an eye on this as it unfolds. Yeah, he's going to go straight up the inside there of Alan. No, he's not. He thought better of it. How's Jamie Dory doing? Jamie Dory's on the back of the rear wheel drive. There's Benny Norton just ahead in 10th position. But I think Marco is going to attack it through this set of corners. You can see Lee Horn in the background. He's attempting to go for a manoeuvre into the Fogarty. Yes, he's going to have to commit to this, and he thinks better of it. He's just gone off the road there. Marco's just gone off the road. Alan, yeah. Alan's been passed by Marco going into Redgate. That was a done deal, really. Alan, anything that in a front-wheel drive now is just not going to be the car of choice. Those front-wheel drive cars are really struggling as it stands at the moment. How is Marco doing? He's up to 8th. Don't forget he started towards the back of the grid. He's now into 8th position. So he is getting a little bit faster. He's done a 1:17.420 on the last lap. That is his best lap time. Anything with a front-wheel drive, with a rear-wheel drive, is now going fast by nearly a second. Massimo, who's currently in 4th, is being hunted at the moment by the 2 BMWs of Mordini and Alberti. They're the 2 BMWs right behind. We're riding on board now with Alberti. Just ahead of that, that is Mordini, and he is being hunted down. The question is, can he get past here? Front-wheel drives all in the 1:16s on the last lap. Lloyd Biddulph, there he is into 3rd. He's lost out to Andre Rodi. So Lloyd Biddulph is down to 3rd at the moment. The question is, can Massimo attack him as well? Lloyd's got 75 kilograms on board the car, don't forget, so it is really hurting him as it stands at the moment. So yeah, Lloyd Biddulph is he's going to be lucky to hold on to 3rd with less than 4 minutes remaining of this race 2 of the season. So he's going to be struggling, I think. Massimo has lost a lot of pace now, but you can see there the track is drying up as the 2 BMWs are fighting each other. In the background, Alberti has got past Mordini. I think that was a tactical switch between the 2 drivers. Yeah, the track's drying up. There is a dry line approaching. So at the moment, there won't be enough time, I don't think, for the front-wheel drives to attack. I think the BMWs just have the advantage in these changeable conditions. The rain has stopped with less than 3 minutes to go. Is that really going to change it? It could do, because Robert is getting closer and closer to Alan. So Alan is in the front-wheel drive, yellow number 11, Cupra. Behind that, that is the laser number 16. Yeah, he's just going to mug him. Robert is just going to mug him. Going into that corner, coming out the Fogarty, yes, he's just got a much better drive. There is the dry line. And the front-wheel drive cars, I think they've chewed through their tyres. Jamie Dory is going to mug him as well. There's Dory in the number 13, Nxtgen Racing, a pink Infinity, as we ride on board with him now. Car spreads, they're all spread out, trying to hold on to the places they can. The dry line has approached, there's no rain falling anymore. And if you've burned through your front-wheel drive, if you've burned through your tyres now, you have no opportunity. And that's the problem. That's the problem that those front-wheel drive cars have, because they have to do the braking and the turning. And that's cost them. Right, Andre is side by side now. There is Lloyd Biddulph in 3rd. Race 1 winner is about to get mugged by Massimo and Andre. He's lost so much time in that Hyundai. So Massimo gets himself into 3rd. A little bit of a sim twitch there. Lloyd Biddulph, who a little bit of crowding out there. We'll have a look at that on replay. I think that might be a little bit of a tough manoeuvre. You can see that because Andre is flashing his lights royally at that front-wheel drive there of Lloyd going, what were you doing? But Lloyd is going to lose another place, but I think more so in the fact Lloyd is just down to the ballast on board that car. That's why Lloyd is going backwards and backwards and backwards and backwards. And that's really cost him time. So he's now down in 5th. He needs to hold on to this as much as possible. Lloyd Biddulph is in 6th. There he is, 1, 2, 3 Lloyd. He's got past, but Andre, yeah, he had that opportunity to go into third. We'll look at that post-race. So it is at the moment BMW, Infinity, BMW in top 5, all rear-wheel drive cars. In these changeable conditions with 37 seconds remaining. Daniele at the front checked out basically on driving around on the track on his own. He's done what he's need to do and is absolutely perfect for Daniele. That's what needs to be done, and as you can see, there's a massive difference between first and second at the moment. Massimo hasn't lost third. He could do. There is Alan Axon in the background. He's running around on his own. It's all front wheel, it's all rear wheel drives. This is the last lap. The question is, can Massimo hold on to that? Because Andre is on the move and has been on the move. Romy has been on the move for a very long time. 114.711. Nobody else in the entire 23 car field has gone into the 114s. This is the only driver in the 114.711. So Andre is one to watch in changeable conditions because he's near enough makes no difference, a second faster than everybody else on this racetrack right now. Absolutely storming through the field. But Danielle is going to bring home the victory for race 2 as we follow through in the left and the left and right handers of Donington Park on the national race circuit. Will bring the car home in first position. A little flash of the lights, not for the crowd. That is your race 2 winner. Andre will bring the car home in second position, but they're still squabbling in the back rank for the other position. So Massimo will take third. Mordini will take fourth. Alberti will take fifth. Bidolf will go all the way down to sixth position. Benatili, Marco will bring the car home in seventh. Robert is in eighth. That's a good recovery after race 1. Dario, front wheel drive, in ninth position, will be very happy with that. Jamie Dory, don't forget Jamie Dory had a spin and he's down in 10th position. Alan has started top 5, down in 11th. The front wheel drives were not the car to have tonight in the race 2. Benny Norton in 12th, Body Flack in 13th. Marco in 14th. Anton bring the car home in Trip 6. Motorsport in 15th position. Behind that is Lee Horn in the highest place Ford Focus. Baz, a great looking car, love that car, will bring the car home in 17th position. Alex Ward will bring the car home in 18th. He's just got to get through the final sections of the racetrack. Behind that is Simon Trebet, Fraser, Stu. And then we've got 2 DNFs of Rich and Andre. So Alex Ward, I've seen Alex Ward race in other leagues before. He has always a race 3 master, so he's got to get that skill, get it ready. But that's the way it is sometimes. So he'll bring the car home in 18th position. They will get faster. Fastest lap was a 120, was a 118, which is mid-pack. Simon Trebek, Fraser Rostance, Stu Neal, Rich Weatherhill and Andre will bring the car home. Lots and lots of talking points in there. But here is your race results. I'm not sure why it's on that page. Doesn't really help, as always. It hasn't updated the race results yet. So when it updates its racing results, then we'll have a look at the racing results. But that's how it stacks up. Daniele, Andre in first and second, Massimo in third, Mordini is fourth, Alberti is fifth, Bidolf is sixth, Benatili is seventh, Robert is eighth, Dario is ninth, Dory is 10th, Axon is 11th, Norton is 12th, Flack is 13th, Marco is 14th, Anton is 15th, Horn is 16th, Baz is 17th, Ward is 18th, Trebek is 19th, Rostance is 20th, Stu Neal is 21st, and 2 DNFs is Rich and Andre. And that's how it stacks up for the race. For race 2. Lots and lots of talking points in there as always. Let's go across back to the commentary box. Welcome back to the commentary box. As always, thanks for staying with me. We are, like I said, if you're just watching the stream now and you're wondering why there's no timing screen, I've had it come up on one of my Facebooks to explain. It turns out that I need more power. Power is what I need. So next week we will have more power from the graphics processing unit, or the GPU. So we will be able to bring you the full assortment of all the cars that we need. But for the minute, we are running it on a reduced service. So that's where we are. Lots and lots of talking points from that, as always, just purely because I think there was a few incidents in that. Yeah, the things that are wobbly now, so it's not doing anything. So there's a lot of talking points in that as well. So it's going to be tough, I think, because the weather conditions were changeable, and we saw that the BMWs were the car to have there. Massimo was absolutely on it. From the minute he started to the minute he finished, he was the fastest driver out there. Do I think he's going to win a race by the end of the season? 100% I do. I think he was. Lloyd, unballasted, was very, very fast in race 1. We saw that. He was near as us makes no difference. An entire country ahead of everybody. 14 seconds. Race 2, 75 kilograms on board that car, and you saw with those changeable conditions he could push in the opening half of the race, but the minute he lost the advantage that was through the wet weather conditions, and then there was a dry line, the BMWs and anything with a rear wheel drive was just going a second faster. Romy was in the 114s consistently. Fastest lap, 114.7. So those rear-wheel drive cars, in those changeable conditions, are the car to have. They are the car you want. That is the car you want to drive. Right, we've got 20 minutes, and they're going to end probably the session early as they go through all the sessions. They're still updating the session, which is what's happening now, which is why you always see at the bottom, which is down there, that it goes through itself. Right, let's have a quick look at the incidents. The one I really want to look at, I think I got it, was the incident where they all went off into... Yeah, so what caused... So what caused the incident is you've got Anton, which is here. And what happens is there is a touch on the rear quarter there. Here. That forces, in these wet weather conditions, the only thing that's going to happen is that car is going to go full send that way. That's it. Nothing else is going to happen. And that's 100% what happens. They go that way. The BMW, he does recover it, and this is the problem. So at this point, Rich actually has the car under control. So he's got the wheels now on full lock, pointing in that direction. So it is now in a recoverable state. The problem is that there's a second tap here. Right there. That's the second tap. That causes Rich to completely lose the back end of the car. And for some reason, the BMW keeps tabbing him. Gives him another tap. And again, and again, and again. By which point, it's now... Rich is basically a passenger at this point. And he's going backwards, he's going backwards, he's going backwards. And they're all trying to avoid the incident. So you've got a car going this way, a car going this way, a car going that way. And Rich is basically going to come back into track. And he's a passenger at this point. He's got absolutely nowhere else to go. And that's the result, basically. And yeah, there's not a lot I can say to that, to be honest. Again, in my eyes, that's a penalty. That's just a penalty. What the penalty is, I don't know. We'd have to see what the stewards decide, if it is even submitted. But unfortunately, yeah, that's a penalty. Because if the BMW hadn't made the second contact and Richard managed to get it pulled round, you have to have a look at braking points. But because there was contact followed by contact followed by contact, it's a penalty. So that's essentially the way that I read that. It's a bit of a shame. It does happen, unfortunately. It does happen in racing. That's one of those things that can happen. I'm just checking if there's anything on the general chats in there. Some people coming up here. Is Alex Ward is basically having some issues. So it's ending up with some issues, basically. So it's not just me that's having some issues. People need some more power, basically. So that's the way it is. Let's have a quick look. What else do we get? In terms of the analysis, this is another one. This is just, there's nothing in this. But this is the changeable conditions again. So you've got Marco coming into the corner, and the problem is that he just goes that way, basically. Marco, this is Marco. We're just watching Marco. Goes through the corner. Yeah, it just goes forward, basically. There's a passenger in that. Massimo is a full-on passenger. And that's the problem with that sort of incident. Do I think there's anything in that? No. I think that's just one of those things. Massimo is trying to stop the car. Again, you'd have to look at the points, because you could argue that Massimo wasn't at the apex. I mean, he could probably get out and call himself a taxi to get there, if you wanted to have that argument. But again, yeah, Dario, I think, was braking. This is Dario. I think he was braking later into the corner to try and gain an advantage. So, do I think there's anything in that? Probably for me, no. I think it's just the conditions. It happens. Marco could have braked earlier, and then he could have done the old switcheroos. I don't think there's anything in that one, really. I think that one's a bit of a... I think that's just one of those things. I don't think it's anything that exciting. That's the incident again. That's the one we don't need. Let's have a look at this one. So while it loads up. So this is Jamie Dory going through. I think this is just him having a bit of a... Yeah, so this is a clinical move from Dory here. So he's already alongside. So this is Lloyd Biddulph. Don't forget, Lloyd Biddulph is race 1 winner. So he takes the honours of the BTCC R Factor 2 Series 1 first race winner. No one can take that away from him. But he's got 75 kilograms on board that car, Lloyd has. So that's really going to hurt him. And Jamie Dory has just got, this is the BMW, he just stops later and later. So at this point, you will see there, and that's the difference. So Lloyd has started to brake here. This, and we're talking fractions of a second, is when there's the brake, there's the dip. There. That's when Massimo hits the brakes. And as Massimo hits the brakes, he's just got it done. He's just clinical at the moment. The changing weather conditions just seem to be really, really suiting really suiting the drivers with the rear wheel with the rear wheel drive. So that's going to be interesting to see, I think. We'll go across back to the live stream and see how that pans out, see where we are. A couple of things on commentary, having a look now. Yep, so there's some commentary on there again. Replying to Ray Hay. Ray Hay, yes, virtual touring cars. Yes, it is. It is virtual touring cars. On R Factor 2 is the game we're playing. Baz and Jamie liveries. Oh, some interesting news from Nxtgen headquarters. Baz and Jamie's liveries are made by Mark Skikes Design. Hopefully I got your name right. Baz's livery is the best. I love Baz's livery. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think it's an absolutely brilliant livery as it stands. So I think that's an absolutely cracking livery. Interesting to see if how that's done, because never seen it done before. So that takes real skill and dedication to make that happen as it stands. We're going to go now back over to the feed. Anyone out on track? Yeah, Danny Ellie is out on track as it stands at the moment. They're all getting themselves warmed up. There's another 11 minutes and 57 seconds. Has had an accident all by himself, unfortunately. A bit of a shame, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And it's always the commentator's curse. The minute you start watching anybody, they always seem to have a massive accident, as it stands. Right, so there's 11 minutes remaining of the session before we go into race is 3. And this is the final race of the evening. At the moment, they're all having a little bit of a conversation, which is why we've got a little bit of delay. So we'll go back across. We'll see if there's anybody in the commentary box. No, there's nobody in the commentary box. Welcome back to me. Don't forget, we are the... There we go. That one. Nxtgen Racing. We are on Discord. It's down there somewhere. We're on Discord. Please come and find us. Great bunch in there. Loads of different helps. There's loads of different race series as well. There's an iRacing race series as well, as it stands at the moment. It's well worth getting involved. Great bunch of people. Don't forget to subscribe as well. If you're watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to get the latest news and the latest videos for the rest of the season, because there is 10 seasons. Not 10 seasons. There are 10 races coming up, 10 weeks of racing. This is week 1. We have weeks 2 to 10 coming up as well. So we will be back for next week. So that's going to be exciting. Again, classic British tracks that we're going to. We've got Silverstone, Croft and Snetterton coming up. Thruxton as well. Thruxton is a track I absolutely love. I have seen Lloyd race there as well. I've seen a few of these drivers actually race there before as well. So that's going to be super exciting to see how they stack up, because there's lots of unknowns in terms of the different drivers that we've got here. Massimo seems to be mighty fast in the rear wheel drives, but again, he was fast in the changeable conditions. So does that mean then that if you've got a rear wheel drive, that changeable condition is what's going to give you the most, basically? It's going to give you that advantage that you need. That's what's going to be. I think that's going to be what's going to be tough for them to decide. There's 23 drivers in now, so they definitely have managed to sort themselves out. So I'd expect us to end the warm-up session quite quickly and then go into the final race of the evening. Nice setup you have in the com box. Thanks, Katie. Yeah, lots of different things. I'll do through the season. I'm still working out a lot of the bugs, because we have a lot of bugs at the minute. So while we've got a couple of minutes, I'll go through some of the stuff. Obviously, we've got, like the real thing, this is my main screen. Full touchscreen monitor on the bottom. And then obviously I've got all your comments and stuff coming up on this side. So please put your comments in. Get comments from everything, so like and always put your comments in, I'll respond. And then I've got all my audio set up, but I need more power to bring you the best action for the season. In terms of who we think, so that's another question that's come up. Who do I think is going to be race 3 winner? Massimo or Romy is going to be where I'm going to put my money. Again, it's raining and those BMWs are fast, because Romy was just in the 114s. He was just faster than absolutely everybody. So it's going to be absolutely manic, to be perfectly honest. I think Massimo is going to be. I think Massimo. Put my money on Massimo. Lloyd, no. The problem Lloyd has is that at the moment the conditions are just not good for that Hyundai. The Hyundai is a front-wheel drive car. He was the highest placed front-wheel drive car. It's the BMWs now to have. But if the conditions get too wet, the front wheel drives will have that another advantage because they can get their power down earlier. So it's all going to come down to the conditions. Katie's saying my money's on Romy. Yeah, me too, 100%. At the moment, with the way the conditions are, Romy is, he was the only driver in the 114, so 114.7. All the front wheel drives were rear wheel drives, were a second faster than the front wheel drives. A whole second. Now in touring car, a second is not a lot. But in changeable conditions, it is. I mean, look at Massimo. Look at Robert. Look at the guys. Nordetti started at the back of the grid and got into top 10. So that's where I'd put my money. I'd be putting my money on Romy or putting my money on. So that's how it stacks up. We're going to go back to the feed now. We're back into the final race of the evening. It is 20 minutes in this race. As always, we'll keep the timing box up for the moment. You can see it's 53 seconds until the race start. There will be a warm-up lap because, as always, that's one of the great things that we have in our Factor 2. You get a lovely warm-up lap. So they're all going to get themselves ready, get themselves on track, get themselves pent up, get the setups done. They're fixed setups. They can't really fiddle with the car too much, which means that a lot of it does come down to how the drivers like the cars they're in. And that's what makes it difficult. So it's 12:10. There's 9 seconds to go. And we will go racing. And let's see how it stacks up. So let's have a look at the starting order for the final race of the evening. Lloyd Biddulph is going to start on pole. I don't think he's going to finish there. Andre is in second. Third is Mordini. Fourth is Boni. Or is Massimo. So it is a reverse of race 2. Romy's fifth. That's where I'd put my money. That's where I'd put my money. Danielle is in sixth. Daniele is in 6th, Marco is in 7th, and Robert is in 8th. Dario is in 9th, Jamie Moore is in 10th, Alan is in 11th, followed by Benny in 12th. Then we have Poddy Flack is in 13th, followed by another Marco in 14th. Anton is 15th, he was 3rd highest. Lee Horn is in 16th position. In 17th is Baz, in 18th is Alex, in 19th is Simon Trebek. Had not had a great race so far, great run through the series. Fraser is in 20th and again not had a good opening section. Stu Neal is in 21st, Rich Weatherhill is in 22nd, and bringing up the field is Andre in 22nd. And that's how it stacks up for the starting order for the final race of the evening. Yeah, Romy is where I'm going to put my money. Romy, I'm with you, Katie, on this one. Romy is where I'm putting my money because it's just faster than everybody. But again, it's not wet weather conditions. It is dry conditions at the moment. So that's why, as it stands, that's where I'd be putting my money. They're all going to have to warm their tyres up as well because there is a warm-up lap. That's why you're seeing the weaving by the cars, because they're trying to get heat into the tyres. Because there is no warmed tyres. It's not like a race room where you basically start and your tyres are at optimal temperature. You have to work the tyres in order to get them into that temperature zone. So that's why they're working the tyres, that's why they're moving them about, that's why they are weaving left and right. They have to be in the pit box, because if you're not, you can get a penalty. They have to then sort themselves out. They will get the 10-second warning. Here we go. Get yourselves ready for race 3, the final race of the evening. Who is going to be victorious? It's lights out and away we go. And did Romy get a perfect start from 5th position? Has he managed to get himself into first? Lloyd Biddulph, is he leading into the first corner? No, he's not. Yes, he is. No, he's not. Yes, he is. No, yes, he is. Andre did not get past him. Lloyd Biddulph has done what he needs to do. Danielle has got himself up to 5th. Romy is into 4th. That's what he needed to do. Romy, there he is, man in the move. There is a person off in the background. Is that Rich Weatherhill? No, it is Baz. Sent himself off into the abyss. He's going to have to get himself on, but at the moment you can see in the back Robert is making progress. He's already passed Dario for 7th position. There's another contact in the background. That's Jamie Dory. He's launched himself off into the abyss, made it to the barrier. Oh, there's more contact in the background. They're all flying off the road. That's really going to hurt them. Who's the big winner there? It's got Stu Neal once again has gone off into the abyss, and that's released a whole gaggle of cars at the front. He's going to be livid in there, but that's just the way it is sometimes. He's going to have to hold on to that. At the front there is Body Flack. Anybody making progress through the middle of that field? Marco is trying to attack him. There he is. Where is Romy? Romy's still in 4th position. He is one of the 4 BMWs. One of the 5 BMWs. It is a BMW parking lot at the moment. But you can see there, Benny Norton is under attack from Anton, and so is Marco, and he's also trying to get past as well. But he's not going to get anything from there. Riding on board now with Anton. Just ahead of him is Benny Norton. This is 12th and 11th position. Just ahead of that is Poddy Flack and Axon. There is Axon. Axon is trying to hold on to that position. Has he managed to get himself any higher up? No, he hasn't. Right. Robert is right. Oh, he's got a sim twitch. He's got a sim twitch coming out of the old hairpin. Just holds on to it. That's allowed Dario in the Honda to go up alongside of him. But in the background, you see there, Poddy Flack has trying to hold on to that position as Marco and Benny Norton are all side by side. Riding on board now with Trebek, who's trying to recover. He's going up the inside there of the 3. It's 3 wide. That's not going to work. Someone's going to lose out. It was Benny Norton lost out from that position. He went all the way back from 11th. He went from 12th down to 15th. He's going to be raging in that helmet. He needs to keep it nice and tidy down. Do nothing silly. He's just not finding the pace in that car. Rich Weatherhill has bugged him as well. And he's sure to get mugged now by Andre. At the front, Lloyd Biddulph is ahead by 9/10 of a second. He is making progress once again. As you see here, just ahead, you've got the number 19 there of Massimo. He's trying to do all he can. Andre's right on the back. Massimo, he hasn't made progress. Massimo has not made the progress I was expecting to be. He is now down the onside, riding on board now with Massimo in 17th position. There is 16th. Oh, a little bit of a sim twitch between them going on. At the moment, Lloyd has got a second ahead, but he did that last time out, and then he just started going backwards and backwards and backwards. But Marco and Daniele are now head to tail, nose to bumper, with Robert right on the rear end. Here is Robert riding on board. He's in 7th position. Don't forget, there is 6th, 5th, 4th and 3rd. All BMWs. He's the only Infiniti out of 4 BMWs ahead of him. Absolutely magnetic stuff. And look at Dario in that front wheel drive. The weather conditions are now favouring the front wheel drive cars. Those BMWs do not have the advantage in this race at this time, which means they're losing best. But look at Robert. Oh, there's contact between Marco and Robert. That was a very, very dangerous manoeuvre. That could have ended them both into barrier, but he gets past just enough. Sensational move there from Robert. Ticks the box, checks it out. Now he's gone on to the next target. 111.865 was Robert's last lap. He's the laser number Infiniti 16. Boom, that one there behind him. That's Marco. Behind that, that's Dario. There he is in the number 70. He's making progress, 112.7, but he is not as fast as Robert. Was a stove. That was a very, very touring car move from there. Race 3 manoeuvre all over again. Sailing up the inside, hope the car stops. Has managed to stop. Lloyd Biddulph is now on a 110.547. He's checked himself out. He's 1 second a lap faster at this time. Robert's lost out again, but I don't think he's going to give that position up lightly. Right behind that, as it unfolds, this is 8th position. This is Dario. This is 8th. There is 7th, 6th, and 5th. It is front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive versus rear wheel drive. BMW, Infiniti and Honda, and now you've got Alan Axon in the Seat Cupra joining the party as well. They are all out to try and get this, and he's run wide. The BMW there has run wide of Marco. Marco ran wide, and he's going to get mugged. He's gonna get mugged. He's gonna have to hold this nice and tidy coming down to the old hairpin, because otherwise he can't send it up the inside. He can't afford to lose that time. Does he do it? No, he doesn't. He's just held on to it, riding on board now with Marco in 7th position. The battle is unfolding. Question is it unfolding enough? We're on board now with Rich Weatherhill down in 16th position. He's side by side with Andre. The question is, can Rich Weatherhill recover from this? He's just not had a good race at this time out. He's not really been able to do anything from here. Yeah, that's game over. That attack is going to have to be reset all over again. Baz is at the background. Benny Norton is retired into the pits. Lee Horn had that incident, and there's Baz. So Lee Horn is making progress, but he just needs to make faster progress because he's running out of lap. Right, Dario once again is attacking the back of Marco. BMW versus rear-wheel drive versus Honda front-wheel drive. Two different driving styles, two different nationalities, two different manufacturers, all on the same racetrack. Through Redgate we go, down the hill. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. He's lost out of it. And as we ride on board with Alex Axon in a 9th position, Seat Cupra, don't forget, T6 Motorsport. Just ahead is Dario. Both front-wheel drive cars, but it's Honda versus Seat. They go, then they're going to go up the hill. There's an aircraft landing at East Midlands as we climb up through the left-hander, up past Old Bridge. The question is he going to do it here? Is he going to be able to get a good result? I'm not sure he can through the right-hander. He needs to keep it nice and tight. Doesn't need to do anything silly here, and he's got this done. Alex is alongside now. Sudden starting to show. Oh, there's contact! There's contact! There's more contact! Absolute carnage! And is that Puddy Flack? Puddy Flack once again. Oh, they're all over the shop, all trying to recover. We will have a look at that post-race. There's going to be many talking parts. But Alex Ward is up to 12th position. He's mugged a lot of them. He's absolutely mugged a lot of them after that. He's going to be licking his chops. As he started at the back and he's now into 12th position. Right, Danielle is now trying to attack the back of Robert. So Robert is making, oh, he's got all over the shop. Robert is, if he keeps driving like that, he's going to be in the side of the wall. So Robert's up to 5th position. Andre is making progress now. He is equaling Lloyd's time, but it's 1.3 seconds. So it's going to be interesting to see now if the BMWs with 12 minutes to go are going to stretch their legs in the second half of this race, because that's what happened in race 2, that's what happened in race 1. Those BMWs just managed to stretch their legs in the second half of the race. Simon Trebek has just gone purple in sector 1, 19.437. Can he carry that on? There he is, he's in the middle of the field, so he's been released here. He's looking for a good result for race 3, and that's really going to see. He needs to get a good result. He didn't have a good race 1, he's not had a good race 2, so he needs to have a good race 3 if he's going to get anywhere near that. Through the right side he goes, through the left side he goes. He needs to keep it nice and tidy. Do no heroics here, do nothing silly in the corner, and he will be holding on to that position. There he is in the Honda. Yes, so Andre at the front is now attacking the back of Lloyd Biddulph. He's now 0.2 of a second a lap faster, and he's got that gap now to below 1 second. It's currently at 0.8 of a second, and it is getting closer and closer and closer. So we'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. I think this is a done deal for him. I think it is. It's going to be a new race winner. What's Romy doing? Is he any faster on that? No. He is now in the 110s, but he's not really making any progress. Romy's top 3, but he's just holding on to that position. He needs to really get a move on if he wants to do anything, if he wants to get a position. Dario down in 11th position in that number 70 Honda. He's on the back of Body Flack. He's going faster, but not fast enough really. It's kind of stagnating at 0.6 of a second. I think there is a lot of tyre management going on as it stands. And Andre is not doing time management because he's done a 109.895. He is now the only driver in the 109s, and as you ride on board with him now, you can just see he's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining. He's just getting so much more speed to the driver ahead. Look, 0.2 of a second is now the gap. He was over a second 2 laps ago, and he's now at a second, less than a second. He's so close, he could read the bumper of the Lloyd Bidoff. Lloyd Bidoff is in first position. He is the car in front, but the car behind, the number 4 white BMW, that is Andre. The problem is, has Andre burnt up his tyres? That little bit of a twitch there has cost him a little bit of time, over 0.2 of a second. The problem he's got is it's one thing to get to the driver, it's another thing to pass, and that's going to really, really hurt him through this section of the race. Right, what's Massimo doing? Massimo's on the back of Fraser Rostance. Fraser Rostance in 18th position in that Ford Focus, the number Napa one. Right ahead of your picture, the number 27. Just behind that is the number 13, that is Massimo. It is Fraser Rostance in the 27. It is again front-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. And they're going to have to get a shift on. Massimo just hasn't been able to get that time. He just hasn't been able to push it. Race 1 and 2, he was absolutely electric. Race 3, it just hasn't materialised. Right. Romy's now on the move. He's a 109.885 on the last lap. Andre was a 109.895 fastest lap. Lloyd is a last lap. He's now nearly 0.5 of a second slower. But Andre is he's going backwards. Lloyd's nearly got the gap up to a second again. And there's only 8.5 minutes remaining of this session of race 3. And that's a problem, because if he doesn't get a move on fast, he's not going to be able to do it. So is he saving the fuel? Is he saving the tyres? But Andre is 5 seconds back. He's not going to do anything from there, failing a massive accident or an incident. Right, Andre in the other BMW. He's in 14th position, the number 4. He's in the back of the picture. He is making real progress now against Anton and Alex Ward. It is Ford versus Astra versus a BMW. Front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. Just ahead there, you can see Poddy Flack is being overtaken by Dario. A little bit of argy-bargy going through Redgrave, but it's one of those things, if you go elbows out, I will go elbows out back to you. You can't give it out. If you don't, you can't take it. So I'd expect a little bit of love repayment from that manoeuvre, but that's just how it is sometimes. As we ride back on board the 14th position, this is Andre, he's at the back. You can see Alex Ward has run wide. He just hasn't had that drive up the hill. Alex Ward is the Napa car ahead, that Ford Focus. Behind him is the other, a Seat Cupra of Andra, which is actually an Opera. It's not an Opera because that's a lady, it's an Opel. Behind that is Andre. It's 14th, 13th and 12th position. Oh, a little bit of a love tap at the back there. That was very audacious. I am keeping an eye on the lead battle for you. Lloyd Bidoff and Andre are now less than 0.5 of a second between each other. I'll keep an eye on that as it develops. But no changes at the moment. Everyone is pretty much holding station for the final 5-minute attack. That's what I think we're going to see. Those last 5 minutes, there's going to be an absolute barrage of drivers and hot laps as that fuel burns off. There's a lot of tyre saving going on at the moment. Jamie Dory, he is being attacked there by Rich Weatherhill. He's not, he's being attacked by Fraser Rostance. No, he isn't. Jamie Dory is lapping Lee Horn. It's Lee Horn and Massimo. Does help if I know who's talking to. So Lee Horn is on the back, and then you've got Massimo just ahead in the Jamie Dory number 13. And those two are attacking you. Right, Andre is now side by side with Lloyd Bidoff for the race lead. Those rear-wheel drive BMWs in that second half have just come alive. They've absolutely really managed to pull the force out of him. He's gone round the outside. His two wheels on the grass. You're not going to go round there. They're giving each other a little bit of a love tap. He's just not going to go too right. Does he get it done? Just enough. Manages to hold on to the position, but Lloyd is not going to give it up. Lloyd, this is going to end up in a massive accident if they don't sort themselves out before the old hairpin. Have they managed to do it? Yes, they have. Absolutely electric stuff. A new race leader goes to Andre Alberti. I've got to learn these names at some point, but Lloyd Bidoff hasn't given it up. Lloyd's in the number 122 car on the right side, 123, sorry. Surely he's got to give this up now. Surely it is going to be game over from here. Alberti just needs to get a good drive off the final corner in that BMW. That's what he's got to do, but he's run wide. He's let the door wide open there for Lloyd Biddulph. Can he do anything? Riding on board with him now. Is he going to take a brave pill? Is he going to slam the brakes on and go down into second and sail it over the inside? No, he isn't. He's thought better of it. And the gap is 0.4 of a second, so it is now Alberti in that lead BMW to take the race victory. Behind that, you've got Alex Axon right in the middle of the field, and they're all gagging with each other, but look at the gaggle behind. There it is. Andre in the other BMW has got Anton and Alex Ward, and they're all 3x3. They're all going 3 wide out of the Fogarty S's. It's just not going to work through there. They're going to have to be super careful and really hold on to it. Down the right side we go, a little bit of a simtich between all of them. Needs to hit the brake. Oh, there's contact at the rear end. Have they managed to hold on to it? Have they managed to get this done? Just enough. Down through the right hander we go, then the left hander, and then it's down into the old hairpin. This is where the BMW should have a much better drive. As you can see, Tamenga just ahead, Trip 6 Motorsport just ahead of this, and that BMW is gaining and gaining. But is he going to sail it up the inside? No, he isn't, because Tamenga just puts the car perfectly on the racetrack, parks it on the apex, and he says, if you have a go if you think you're hard enough. And it turns out he wasn't. He's like, I don't want to lose 13th position. I can't afford the points, because points equal prizes at the end of the season, probably. And that's why he's just holding on to that, less than 4.5 minutes to go. I say that, but he's gone for it. He's going to sail it up the inside. He's going to have so much more confidence. Job done, ticks the box. That was a absolute textbook manoeuvre. He's going to end up with an attack from Tamenga coming into Redgrave. A little bit of a flash of the lights there, as you'd expect, because they're entitled to do that through the right hand. The BMW locking the rear wheel. Tamanga's going to get a much better drive, but that BMW has just blocked the drive. Andre just blocked the exit, and there's nowhere for him to go. So at the moment, Tamanga is the second car. He is the yellow and the black car. There he is, the number 84. Tamanga's got nowhere to go. He's just now going to have to hold station, I think, and just try and get out all the points as it unfolds. Jamie Dory's still running at the back. He's a lap down now, same as Lee Horn. They are a lap down, but they're going to try and finish the best they can. Right, let's check out the lap times at the front. So Rummy, who I did pip for race 3, a victory here, hasn't really materialised the speed that we'd expect. He's 0.3 of a second faster than Lloyd, but with a lap, but with this lap and one more, yeah, he's not going to do it. Not going to do it. I think Alberti is going to take the race victory on this one. Failing any accidents, incidents or issues, Alberti has just done what he needs to do, and I think he's now just in management station. His best lap was a 109.759. Only him and Romy in third are in the 109s. Everybody else is 110 or faster. Last lap out there, just he's holding stations. He's keeping the gap at around 5 to 6 tenths of a second, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to keep that gap at around 5 to 6 tenths of a second, because if he doesn't do that, he could chew through his tyres, he could burn them up. But Lloyd is closing now. Lloyd has found a little bit of speed, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything from this section. We'll follow these two through to the final, because the car spreads. The field's all just kind of stagnating at the moment in terms of attacks and balances. So we will see what will happen. Jamie Dory, something's just come in off the board. I've been told that Jamie Dory was on fire. So Jamie Dory has now had a DNF because Jamie Dory was on fire. So he's retired to the pits. We didn't see it on stream, but Jamie Dory, so for the Jamie Dory fans out there, he was on fire. I'm glad that he's not. But you can blow the engines up in this car, and that's come from the race director. Yes, we do have a race director who does feed me information in the background. So that's come from race director. Jamie Dory was on fire. But this is the battle, and I think Alberti has done an absolutely superb job. He did what he needs to do to get past Lloyd Biddulph. But Lloyd and these two, I think, and Romy, I think, are going to be fighting each other for the championship. I think these two at the moment are just the outstanding drivers. So Alberti takes the win, followed by Lloyd Bidoff, who I know will be happy with that. Romy, so much promise in that race for race 3, brings the car home. There is a battle going in the background, trying to find it. We will keep an eye on this as it unfolds into the last 2 corners. Is the BMW of Andre going to finally get past of Tulaska? Finally get past Body Flak? I don't think he is. No, it is. Switcheroos all over. So Alberti takes the win from Bidoff, from Romy, from Roberto, from Robert. Sorry, Robert. I keep calling him Roberto. From Mordini. Didn't really talk about Mordini for the entire race, but there you go. Axon, a better recovery, but that's again front-wheel drive car. Simon Trebek by Danielle, by Marco. And that's how the results stack up. Let's see how it stacks up. There you go, mid-race results. So Andre, followed by Lloyd, by another Andre, Romy, followed by Robert, followed by Mordini, followed by Axel Trebek, by Daniela, Danieli, Marco and Dario. Whoops. And then Poddy Flack, another Andre, Anton, Alex Wards, Junior, Fraser Rostance, Lee Horn, Jamie Dory, DNF, Car Blown Up, Rich Weatherhill, DNF. He's going to be gutted with that because I think that is 3 DNFs. Massimo, again, high promise, but a DNF. And at the back of the field by Marco, DNF, Baz, DNF, and Benny Morton brings up the rest of the field. And that's how it stacks up for tonight's racing. As always, absolutely brilliant stuff. Thank you for joining me. We'll see if there's anybody in the commentary box who would like to chat. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Nope, there's nobody in there at the moment as it currently stacks up. So we'll keep an eye on that. Race 3, lots and lots of talking points about race 3. Again, it was top 6 was reversed. So I think there was just some over-eagerness in race 3. And that caused quite a few incidents. Unfortunately, and as a result there were just some very unlucky drivers. That's the way it is sometimes. When you try to overtake into the old hairpin at Donington, that's going to cause problems. And if you're all going through there at that type of speed, it's always going to result in an accident. So while we've got a bit of time, let's go across to the replay analysis. And I've accidentally jumped into the wrong thing, so hopefully they're not all listening to me. They are. I've gone into exactly the wrong thing. That was the wrong thing to join. So we're trying to go into this here, into that, and we're quickly going to jump into that one there. Okay, so going back over to this here, let's have a quick look. We did get some of these incidents on stream, but as always, what I would say is that we only ever have one look, one view of the racing. We only ever get to see one camera angle. So it doesn't always necessarily mean that's what happened. It just means that's what I saw. And because that's what I saw, that's what happens. Right. I think we did get it. I think it was that one. Right. Let's have a little look. No, I didn't get it. So this was the... this was the little bit of a tap, wasn't it? Yeah. Again, this is the same as before. So again, there is room left here. It's a bit of a tricky one. So the reason being is it all comes down to if he was at the B pillar. That's the way I would read it. So yeah, he was, but he's already making the turn. So that can be an issue, you see, and that can be a problem. So I think there could be a penalty there for Alan. You'd have to look at more detail for that. You'd have to look at more data for that incident. really. From that camera angle, yeah, it's not conclusive is the way I'd put that, so I probably wouldn't do anything on that. Didn't really get anything else, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame, but that's how it stacks up sometimes. We will see if anybody wants to join us in the commentary box for the next 5 minutes. And if nobody wants to join, then obviously we will be closing off for tonight's racing. Lots and lots of talking points on there. Again, thank you for bearing with me while we get through on the reduced service this evening. We will be back to full service for next week. We just need a bit more power. Lots of spinning there. The cars are hard to drive in this game. Ballast is a massive effect here. 75 kilograms on board that car, and it absolutely hindered a load of them. The wet weather conditions, those BMWs in that weather, those changeable conditions, were just absolutely magnetic in terms of what they were doing and how they were driving. I mean, Romy was just faster than anybody. And then in races, in race 3, the BMWs again. I mean, Lloyd is on it. Lloyd is a quick driver because I've seen Lloyd in other series before, and he's absolutely on it. He's absolutely rapid. But Romy and Andre at the front they're just fast. I mean, they're the only drivers in race 3 that were in the 109s. Everybody else were absolutely brilliant. So it presents a lot of challenges. I mean, next week we're going to Brands Hatch, which is going to be, it's a track I absolutely love. But going through that first dip, are the BMWs going to have the advantage? No, it's going to be front-wheel drive. 100% it's going to be front-wheel drive. And that's not an easy track to pass at. Donington is a slightly wider track. I know Brands held the GP before, but many, many years ago, but it's not a wide track. So I know there's going to be lots and lots of people in there, and they're going to be practicing. So they're going to have to really think about what they're going to do here, I think. So that's what's going to make it exciting. So that's it for me. There's nobody in the commentary box. So that's it for me. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for bearing with us. Normal service will resume next week. We were on a reduced service. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. Again, it's well worth it. There's lots of other race series going on in the Next Gen program, so I'd really recommend that. If you're not on Discord, get on Discord. Get yourself on there. R-Factor 2 is what we race. I had another thing come up on another one, which was what do we race? We race R-Factor 2. Yeah, so it's brilliant. So again, thank you for watching. See you same time, same place next week.